Welcome, Agile friends. My name is Michał Parkoła, and I'm hosting this session with our amazing speaker, Johanna Rothman. And the title of the session is Agility over Agile, Practical Ways to Release Value Faster. Welcome, Johanna.
Well, thank you very much. I am delighted to be here.
So before we begin, I want to mention that there are also other sessions in this Agile Online Summit that touch on related topics. For example, don't miss the talk by Hugo Vega that will have a session about syncing product increments with OKRs. And check out all the other sessions at agileonlinesummit.com. But now it's time to focus on our speaker and our main topic. So Johanna, what's the secret? How can we go about releasing value fast?
So I really like to think about shortening our feedback loops rather than any other agile approach or life cycle or anything. But the faster we learn, the faster we can release value. Sometimes we learn what we did wasn't exactly what the customer wanted. That's fine. Agility is no we will still have the same result, even if we use an agile approach. When we say things like, when customers say things like, you gave me what I asked for, but it's not what I wanted. But wouldn't you like to know that faster? That's the whole idea. So what I find is too often people focus on a single agile approach, or they work in 2-week time boxes in Scrum. Those are all very helpful ideas, right? I love me a good time box. However, if you only release value at the end of the time box, you're not sufficiently learning fast enough. You can release value as often as possible in that 2-week time box. The 2-week time box limits the team's total WIP, the work in progress, for those 2 weeks. That's a really good idea. But if you can, just imagine if you could release something on Tuesday morning and then Tuesday afternoon and get feedback on it for Wednesday. That would allow you to learn faster. So it's not so much which method or framework or any of that, but the fact that you can release value faster, that's what really matters. And the way you do that is by measuring the flow metrics. How much WIP, the work in progress, do you have? What is your cycle time? How long does it take you to release something to somebody who can look at it? It might not be the end customer, it might be other people in the organization. How old is the stuff you're working on? Because chances are very good, the older it is, the less value it has. We're not talking about people or dogs, right? Old dogs are very valuable. Old people, I think, are also very valuable. But aging of work is not so valuable. And then what is our throughput? How often do we actually release something? And that's all together part of Little's Law. And the more we think about that, the faster we can release some value.
That's great. And so you could say just release more often than you think you should.
Well, release more often, but let's not forget the value part, right? If you release across the architecture, you release UI, you release middleware, you release platform. How do you know you have anything valuable at the end of that? So it's really, how do you release a small slice every single day or more often?
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Can we dig in a little bit? So, okay, let's say like this is a big job to get a team, or maybe a team is not really the problem, but the organization. Sometimes it's a challenge to release, maybe even once in each sprint, not to mention like daily or twice daily. but some teams are definitely there. But I'm curious that assuming that we have overcome this first challenge,